tomorrow. So to start things off, instead of trying to create an equation, we should instead opt for creating a table. That's make it much easier to read and much easier to decipher. So let's start things off. Right here, we have A and we have 0. So let's just write down the possibilities of the values for A and 0. So right here, A can either be equal to 0 or 1, and 0, no matter what, will always be 0. Now, we run through this XNOR gate. However, remember that all XNOR means it is the opposite of the XOR gate, or the XOR logic. So all we have to do is write down the equation for XOR. So, XOR. The funniest way and the easiest way to remember what an XOR gate is if you have one X going to the prom, you'll go with her. If you have a different X going to the prom, you'll go. But if neither of your X's go to the prom, then you won't go. And if both your X's are there, bad news, you won't go. So let's use that as an example. Here, you have 0, 0, meaning you have none of your X's there, and you have no one to go to the prom with. So you make this a 0. Here, you have one of your X's going, ex-girlfriend, whatever, going, so you go with her. So that's a 1. Now, we go to the XNOR, and you know that this is an XNOR because of this little circle here. So we take the XNOR, and we simply flip these values. So what's the opposite of 0? It's 1. What's the opposite of 1? It's 0. So now, here comes the interesting part. We get to another gate. We get to another XNOR gate, except with the same A value. So now, we do another XOR like we did previously here, and instead, we compare these results, what I'm about to highlight in purple, with the results of A, because remember, you are comparing literally the results of A with the results of this previous XNOR gate. So let us continue. So here you're comparing 1 with 0, meaning that one of your X is there at the prom, so you go with her. That's a 1. Here you have no X, but you have your ex-girlfriend here. So that's a 1. So now we're at the XNOR again. We flip it. So this is XNOR. And now we simply flip the values. So this will be 0. And this will also be 0. So what's the total output? Well, you tell me. 0 or 0 is equal to 0. So basically, this entire gate here is really just being attached to ground, because ground always gives a value of 0.